100 points low, 100 points higher on the Nifty, and a 200-point pop on the Sensex. What we have, this is the first rate coming up on the Nifty and the Sensex. Bank Nifty is up about 0.25% as well, 52,277. What else? Mid-cap index is up about 0.6%. So last week, mid and small caps outperformed massively. Yesterday, they outperformed the Nifty and the Sensex, and this morning is where I think the start at least is more in the broader markets. The Nifty heat map coming up as well. I think you've got a few stocks lower. ITC is there in the red, but the majority of what is starting is up in the green at this stage. 1,200 stocks are higher and about 400 stocks are lower, although this is still under 1 minute of market open. Let's get to stocks. Surabhi.
Absolutely. Just to complete this GST issue before I go back to the Nifty, look at a stock called Vedant Fashions. This is the company that runs the Manyavar brand. And now, if luxury is defined as clothing above, say, 15,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees, it'll impact Manyavar because their average selling price is usually on the higher side. It's wedding wear. So Vedant Fashion already down almost 5%. Watch out for this one. Even VST Industries is down 1.5%, as is ITC. So the GST impact is playing out on individual stocks. Okay, let's come back to the Nifty. Titan is slightly lower as well because, again, this is linked to GST. There is some talk about higher value or higher priced watches also being taxed in a higher way. But what's the cutoff threshold? We have to watch out for some of these things. What else is negative in the market? Bharti Airtel is slightly lower. ICICI Bank, Infosys, these are stocks on the lower side as well. However, offsetting that are names like JSW Steel, 2.5% on the higher side. Tata Steel, ONGC, some of these commodity companies are doing well. Shriram Finance is having a good morning, 2% higher. Adani Ports is up and about. HDFC Bank is doing well. Actually, the Bank Nifty is holding up the market, you'd have to say, with a gain of almost 0.5%. SBI, HDFC Bank, a lot of these bigger names. Otherwise, it's a little flat. But yes, some of the steel makers are, really shining bright. And then there are the banks, which are doing well. Nigel.
Well, that's right. Indegene, that stock is one of the big losers because of that large trade that had to take place. So that one's down. GST tinkering is weighing on ITC, Varun Beverages as well. Both those two stocks are lower in today's trading session. In terms of stocks that are doing well, you have Solar Industries, massive order win. Well, that one, in fact, is one of the top gainers that we're seeing today. So keep an eye out on that one. Arcade, another one that listed in the last 1 year or so. Volumes rather high, unusually high actually. Arcade is the one that's up close to around 8%. So keep an eye out on that stock as well. A few more gainers should come up for you on the screen. You have Genus Power that's moving well, large volumes. Swiggy will be reporting its numbers. Some optimism building in there. So that stock as well making a close to a fresh high that from the time it's listed. Ola Electric is another one that's doing quite well. So quite a few of these names are doing well. I'll tell you what, the Nifty gapped up with a gain of close to around 100 points. That was a bit tricky for the bulls because you can't chase that sort of an opening. So now the resistance for the day comes in at today's high, which is closer to around the 24,400 odd mark. That's the important resistance mark. We'll have to get past that. But after underperforming for the last couple of sessions, you have the Nifty Bank that is now up close to around 0.5%. And it's outperforming for today.
Absolutely, and we'll see if it's got more in it. But we've got a 30-point gain now on the Nifty. Policy Bazaar is another one which is up about 2% or so, and that is looking at about almost 2,000 rupees. It's taken a while, Policy Bazaar, to come back to take out the earlier highs. Remember, it went into a bit of a flux once they said that they wanted to get into managed healthcare kind of operations, and there was buzz whether they're going to get into hospitals, etc. Stock had fallen sharply to almost about 1,500 odd rupee levels, back at 2,000 now, Policy Bazaar, and it's got large volumes as well. Cochin Shipbuilders, 5 days back, 5 sessions back, stock was at about 1,260. Stock's at 1,725 in 5 sessions. So that's a big move coming through. And I think even names like Mazgaon and Garden Reach have recovered quite nicely over the last 5-6 days. Inox Wind, I think there is news flow, which we highlighted, 6% on Inox Wind. It's got huge volumes for this point in the day. Torrent Power, I think we did highlight earlier. A stock called Black Buck, which is recent listing, is about 5-6 days old. It's up about 1%, but was a circuit up yesterday, Black Buck. We've got Precall, Vivek had highlighted, Sud had highlighted the acquisition there. Manappuram is up about 3.5%, so it's coming up with some decent kind of gains. EPAC is back up 5%, was up 5% yesterday as well. So broader markets are doing very, very well at this stage. You know, there's a small company called Wanbury. It's coming up with some volume, so just want to highlight that as well before we look at other stuff right now.
Just mentioning Swiggy as well. I mean, the start was so quiet for this company, right? It's listed, started reporting its first numbers today after listing, and there's so much excitement. Anyway, it's sort of picked up in a nice fashion post-listing. The stock's done really well, and the anticipation is that maybe they'll have a very positive commentary to share today after those numbers.
And there are two large trades that have taken place. TBO Tech, that's a newly listed company. So massive volume out there, explains why the stock is down close to 6%, some change of hands taking place there. And Zentech is the other one that's been a big outperformer. That one's down close to 5%, but that one as well, a large trade out there. We'll try to get in both those two managements and find out more with regard to who are the participants on both these two names.
You know, I think Mangalam was talking about beverages, right?
Yeah,
I mean, higher
Varun
GST. Varun Beverages is down 3.5%. It's the second largest volume traded name at this point as far as open is concerned.